Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to be making a video that is directed towards the New Age community. And so what is the New Age community? The New Age community is kind of the name given to the spirituality movement here in the United States and also basically just the more westernized countries. It's basically like a baseless way to kind of pick and choose spiritual topics from different teachings and just kind of mesh it into your life and whatever kind of fits for you. So people who are part of this New Age movement, they kind of borrow different teachings from Buddhism and Hinduism, things from here and there. And so my main message to that New Age community is, the main one is to be careful about the information that you're taking in, because modernly, even today, Hinduism and Buddhism has a lot of fake, false information, misleading information, even within the countries of India and China and the southeastern countries where it's practiced. Many people are practicing it and they're disillusioned to the truth. They're just practicing it more as a religious way of being, and it's still a way to control the masses. So when it comes to New Age, it's very important not just to pick and choose and to choose the things that feel right for you, but to actually learn and understand and develop a way to actually ground yourself and have a real type of comprehension. For me, it very much helped looking into the different Hindu texts and understanding the truth that it was pointing towards. So if you don't have a foundation, an overall understanding, and your Kundalini is rising, if that Kundalini were ever to fall or something traumatic were to happen to you, you need to have some sort of base or understanding, realization of how things actually work. So for instance, with Hinduism, Buddhism, they can explain to you using different terminology the basis for how this universe works. And with the New Age movement, there is no actual constructed text. It's a lot of individuals going in and trying to channel from within and write texts and write books and share knowledge. But again, it's your the source of information that you're getting is only going to be as valuable as that one person's connection to source and then your interpretation of this person's words. So if you don't do the inner work, all of these readings and different expressions really have very few meaning, because it's that inner work that allows you to perceive reality for the way it is through your own eyes instead of just through the lens of some so-called spiritual master. And another thing that I wanted to jump upon when I'm talking about the New Age community and the full reason for making this video, the first part I was just kind of critiquing the whole idea of New Age, how it's something that's really just baseless and flimsy and not really grounded, attached to anything. The other thing when I want to move into New Age is a lot of this whole New Age movement is talking about protecting your own energy, protecting self. And a lot of people in that manner, they think that if they wanted to take the lead, and there are these global events that are going on in the world. For some reason, we live in a world where global events are political. So you can't speak out against events that are taking place because it's political. You might lose your job, you might lose your friends. And so with the New Age community, it seems very similar, where we have a lot of people who are working on their light, and they're focused on their light and their inner light. And so to me, it seems like we have a lot of little fireflies around, but a bunch of little fireflies cannot light up the night sky. It takes a whole bunch of them coming together to actually create some light that is worth looking at, that gathers the attention of everyone. If there's one little firefly, you're not going to notice it, but there's a whole swarm of fireflies, you're going to notice that. What I'm saying is the spiritual community, the New Age community, needs to have a way to come together. And if we don't have a common foundation, because we're all trying to search high and low for which path feels right to us, then ultimately there might not really be any way to unity until you reach that point of realization, realizing the truth. And if that sporadic path that you take somehow leads you to that truth, then there's a point of, reconnection and understanding. But when somebody is on that spiritual path trying to reach that point towards unity, there's so many different paths somebody can take, and they can get lost, they can go backwards, they can go all over the place. And so having that common foundation, such as Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism and Buddhism, that is what brings people together. For instance, we have different religions as well, and that brings people together, but it also pits people against each other. So clearly that's not the way forward as well. But that's what I'm trying to say is with this New Age community we have in America. If we're going out in a million different directions, we have nothing that touches us together. The Hindu deities do that. The deities bring people together in the land of India. It brings them together because they have something that is common that they can stand behind. And with the Hindu deities, it's not just, oh, this is something that brings us together. This is the truth. This is how creation happened and the way things are. More on that later, but focusing back more again, talking about the New Age community, this whole concept of us all being little specks of light working on our light. I honestly think it's, in a sense, completely pointless if you don't then go out and express that light. So, for instance, a lot of the Hindu and Buddhist concepts that for an outsider looking in will be able to see is going to be a lot more of the right hand, more of the Shiva masculine side, where it has to deal with renunciation, where the feminine side has to deal with then enjoying the fruits of your labor, which this was something that I had no idea about. And so ever since I left college, I was this super hard worker. Even before college and high school, I was a swimmer my entire life. And as soon as I got out of college and working, I was just, I'm going to get up super early. I'm going to work out. I'm going to go to work, come back, eat healthy food, learn, blah, 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 again, and again. And so I was doing the practices and doing all that, but I was not actually then enjoying the fruits of my labor. I'm becoming this better person, but I'm not going out and socializing. I'm not even enjoying myself. So it takes a balance of these two. And what worries me about having a New Age community, people just looking in and trying to grab certain things, is they might fall down the path that I did, where I think that renunciation is the key, and you might end up making someone go down a path where they start to not enjoy anything in life. They don't have no more motivations because they have no more desires. And as you can see, if there was, a Western community that wanted to hide the practices that were the most powerful and the ones that, could be used to overthrow the power structure, then they would be hiding the feminine, the one that's the enjoyer of the experience and the enjoyer of your fruits and your labors, rather than the Shiva one that teaches you to detach and allows you to, detachment allows you to, allows people to focus on wanting and needing less, which is really a good thing. But when it comes to capitalism, if you have all your spiritual people and spiritual communities geared towards, I don't need anything, I need nothing, then these people will just fade away and they'll make no impact on the world because they're just focused on their own transcendence. And so that's where I am speaking to the New Age community, is if you're focused on your own transcendence, you're not helping the overall greater community. It is uncomfortable to stand in front of a camera, talk about, I would say politics, but really it's just historical facts at this point. Like, for instance, the fact that Iran was bombed, and the first thing the United States did is they blew up a school and killed a bunch of children. And it just makes you wonder. It's like, well, maybe don't, if you're saying maybe you were trying to hit this military base, maybe don't hit the military base next to a school. That's pretty simple. And so uncomfortable things like that should be spoken about. But because, right, the New Age people who are spiritual, we want to say we care more about people. We can also say that we can detach away from these certain events as well. So I can be fully engaged learning about what's going on in the world, seeing these traumatic events. But because I know, right, I'm detached, I know that everything, this physical incarnation, is an illusion. I can read that information and it cannot affect me. And so what I think is the spiritual people who are strong and powerful and courageous emotionally and spiritually and physically, need to come together and be fearless, speak their mind, speak their truth. And I believe in every single one of you, even if you are a New Age follower. It's not to put you down when I'm talking like this, because I do believe in you, that light is inside of you. The only thing is that light is isolated and it has nowhere to go, really here in the United States. And the New Age community, again, it's helpful because it gets people set into the right direction, but it also can be incredibly misleading. For instance, it can lead someone down a path of Sanatana Dharma, but it can also lead people to thinking that, oh, just because, this is spiritual, it's going to help me. That's not always the case. Just because something's spiritual and you think this is going to help you, sometimes it doesn't help you. A lot of the times, in my case especially, it takes devotion towards a specific path and time towards a specific path in order to completely reap those benefits of what you're doing. Prior to starting sadhana and all the videos I've been making of the Mahavidya sadhana and meeting my guru and everything, I was completely aimless, like I said, and I was just listening to the different Mahavidya mantras aimlessly. And not that anything like that would be dangerous, but the energy, in order to direct it the right way, and in order to make your spiritual path more efficient, helpful, and nurturing for you and the people around you, because ultimately, if you're going through a path that is causing you to suffer, it may also make the people around you suffer as well. But yeah, I'm going to end things here for today's video. I just wanted to make that short message to the New Age community, and it's really just a call that it's time to find ways that we can set any differences aside, come together, realize that at the end of the day, we're all worshiping this light, this energy that comes from point of creation, and some people refer to it as Vishnu. The reason why I think that we should be referring to it as Vishnu is because that's the way it's been written, and this knowledge has been there. And when you take a look at Hinduism and you take a look at the stories, you realize that it's not just telling you stories about these different gods. It's telling you stories about how human anatomy works. It's telling you stories about how human nature is, and it's telling you stories just about how this universe is actually constructed. So it's all just very there's so much in there where I'll hear a concept of Shiva, I'll hear a story of Shiva, and I just boom, 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 all these lights light up because Shiva explains so much, and he's so forever present. Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma, they're always here with us. There's really no escape, right? A person can be in the mode of creation, destruction, or preservation. You can try to escape one of those modes. Good luck with it. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is this is so rooted in truth. Shiva being the space, the dark space between atoms, and those vibrational atoms being the Shakti. This is something that is so ingrained into the fabric of reality. When you take a look then at atoms and you say, okay, well, the Shakti is the vibration and the Shiva is the non-vibration, then you can zoom out, look at planets, and you can see, oh, well, there's this dark space around the planets, that's the Shiva, and the vibration, what you can see, right? That's the planet itself, and Shiva is what is not. And that's all for today's video. I had so much fun making it. Hope you had even more fun watching it. Without further ado, Jai Mahakal.